What is going on, Neverwinter? We have some big news coming from Neverwinter this morning. For those who play on console, we're getting a big patch note overhaul today. As of the recording of this video, the servers are still down, but we're going to go over the first video of the day, and it's going to be the patch notes. And there's a lot of significant information in this particular patch notes, and we're going to go over all of them. We're going to skip a lot of the class features for the classes, because to me, most of them are irrelevant. So, but we're going to talk about the main topics. We're going to go over the main things and let you guys know what I think. So, right out the get-go, legacy campaigns. Defending the Sword Coast now properly grants credit for Maze Engine. For those who do legacy campaign, when you had Maze Engine, you had to go in and do the chapters instead of defending the coast. This is now being changed. This is big. To me, Sword Coast is easier and more time efficient than doing the chapters. So that's big. Players no longer need higher than intended armor pen for Cholt and Ravenloft. That's good. For those who don't know, they've changed the puzzles. Before it was artifact, potion, artifact, because of the whole mimic and the little puzzle with mimics and the passing the orb, and people couldn't see it and some people could, and it was just laggy. So they took it out and they put it in as artifact, potion, artifact, but now they're switching it to put potion, artifact, potion. To me, this is kind of irrelevant. We skip the potions for the most part, so they should probably just find a different way to doing this. Again, we're not going to talk about the combat powers and the class features for every class. There's only one or two like actual significant ones, so we'll go ahead and skip that. But I'll leave the link in the description below for those who want to check out what's being changed for the classes. Alright, a lot of these artifacts here have improper tooltips. So Decanter now displays reasonable damage values on its tooltip. Kessel Sphere now match tooltip damage to the real damage. Again, these are kind of irrelevant because most of them are tooltips, and most of them aren't used. So pretty much irrelevant. This is a big change for the boon. I don't know why people will be running this boon, but nonetheless, it is a big change. You were losing 1600 crit avoidance, but again, I don't know why you would be running this to begin with. So with that being said, we're going to companions. Baby Owlbear's presence now properly functions right. Cockatrice's presence now properly procs 10% of the time. Evoker's Wisdom now properly functions. All these are properly working right. There's plenty of things that's not working as intended, or not working the way it should be, obviously. So this is a decent step in the right direction to fixing some of the things, but they should probably, as they like to say, triage the companions that are used. The companions are used most often to the companions that aren't used, that have incorrect tooltips or incorrect procs or incorrect percentages, for the most part. So with that being said, none of these are really best in slot, but it does show the fact that they are acknowledging the fact that some of their stuff is broken and they are fixing it. The Grey Cloak's insignia no longer provides immense power. On PC for a while, the Grey Cloak's insignia was giving people crazy amounts of standing power. We're talking 600-700k power, and that was ridiculous. So this has finally been fixed. I'm surprised it took that long for him to fix it, because normally something game breaking like that recently have been emergency patched. So I see. I went to look for these the other day, and I was like, I can't find them. I'm not going to dive into it. They're going to fix it eventually, and here we are with the patch note. So, Knight's Defense no longer incorrectly deals an occasional 1 damage to the equipped player. This was the only problem if you were trying to interact with something. Knight's Rebuke now properly triggers only when receiving combat advantage. Knight's Rebuke is not bad. Everyone needs combat advantage, so give it a look. Enemies. For those who have tried Castle Ravenloft since mod 16, Strahd is kind of unbeatable. When he spawns the red orbs, you have like 3 seconds to get out of it, and if you don't, it basically one-shots you. Okay? And with the revive sickness being the way it is, it's kind of unbeatable. So this is going over the Shroud damage. The damage dealt by the following powers have been reduced: Ardor, Zorhau, Lunge, Shadow Crash, Engard, and Blood Flight. So I'm glad they fixed this. I'm not sure why you'd be running with Ravenloft as it is now. You really don't get anything from it. The armor is obsolete, and the rank 6s that you would have an option to get, you can get anywhere. So it all comes down to time efficiency, and right now Castle of Ravenloft is not that. So why run it? I'm glad they made the changes in case you are those people who are doing queues and you get put into this and you want to try beating it. That being said, the damage dealt by the Sun Sword has been reduced, so they had to kind of balance the fact that they've reduced the damage for a Shroud fight by reducing the damage done from the sword. Still strong though. Still strong. The magnitude is now clearly displayed on the tooltips for the Sun Sword powers. That's big. A lot of us didn't know what it did. Now it's fixed. That's big. The hail effect of the Sun Sword encounter power Daybreak has been increased. Big as well. The health of the Shades imprisoning your ally during the Nightmare phase of Shroud's boss encounter has been reduced. Big as well. Resolved an issue where the damage dealt by the Executioner's guillotine during the Nightmare phase of Shroud's have been non-lethal. Big as well. A lot of people don't get caught on this, so this is kind of irrelevant. We're going to skip over the last part, and we're going to go back to Lair of the Mad Mage. My group itself have been preparing for the damage coil doing more damage, so at the very end, the last phase of Trobrain, you will kill the 4 coils at the end and then rush to the middle, because the coils that are around the map do more damage. So rush to the middle, have your healer, time is healing, and you should be fine. Again, we've prepared for this. We've seen the patch notes on PC, and we have accustomed to going to the middle after the 4th coil. So as you see here, the damage dealt by the electric coils from the floor of Trobrain's room have been increased. The potency and duration of the negative conditions applied by magnetic discharge have been increased. The distance that the magnet discharge pushes and pulls players have been reduced. The magnetic discharge now deals damage when players with opposite charges collide. Before, those who've done research, the PC people basically said if your opposite charges collide, it's going to do big damage, kind of the equivalent of the tether in Castle Never. But to me, it has been kind of lackluster. So I'm definitely anxious to see how this is going to hit hard, how hard it's going to get, if it's going to one-shot you, things like that. Mini coin, bank heist. The final boss of skirmish has left health. I think that's a needed change. I think the biggest part of that was ads. And with a lot of newer people playing and a lot of newer people needing that, the skirmish kind of becomes harder than what it should be, right? So I don't think the boss health was the issue. I think the ads was the issue. But I'm glad to see that they're trying to make that easier to do, because it's still a significant way of getting your acorns for your campaign. Master Expedition. Rare spawn enemies now are CC immune. Those bosses and enemies that spawn randomly throughout the Master Expedition, those are it. Spellplay Cavern Master. Cabal spawn ads can now properly aggro distant players. If you're going to fix anything in Spellplayer, it should be the chains not breaking and all that Cabal nonsense that was happening, right? Should fix all that. Temple Tiamat, for those who don't know, Temple Tiamat has been reduced to 10 players, so they're trying to find a good balance for it. Dragon Souls now use interact actions instead of having to go to the potion tray. Surveying uses new warning indicators for meteor power. Irrelevant. General, where we at? We're at General. Stormcaller werewolves can no longer pivot to target players while casting. Yeah. All right, this is the big part. This is good fixes. This is good information, and I'm excited. For those who've been struggling to get your alabaster weapons now have a higher chance of dropping for players who already don't have them. All crafted offhand daggers and dual blades now properly have weapon damage values. Artifact necklace that gave old incorrectly functioned versions of AP have been changed to Constitution for increased AP gain and max health. Orca stuff. Big. I'm actually struggling trying to hit the health for the enchantment. So this should put me right there. This should put me where it needs to be to use it. So that being said, duplicate rings have been removed from the seal store of Yawning Portal. Excavated lockbox, the epic lock or the epic mount pack no longer incorrectly lists legacy versions of certain mounts. Good. This should have been fixed way before this patch note. They should have said, we're going to put that server down for 15 minutes. We're going to fix this. This is kind of irrelevant. I myself get most of my refinement from quartermasters. I've made videos in the past saying so. How to get refinement, quartermasters. So those who've played this weekend know that we had double refining stones. Those who know what double refining stones means with the quartermasters means you get, 300 to 600 K refinement points easily 600K easily. This was bugged. This was not working as intended, and it was dropping rank 2s instead of rank 6s and 7s. Should have been fixed while the event was going on or before the event so people could capitalize, but no, we had to wait a couple weeks, couple months for the next double refining stones. Kind of dropped the ball on this, but I don't need the refinement, so it's neither here nor there. So with that being said, some remaining incorrect cases of movement have been removed. Spy Guild pants and shirt are now with seals of Mountain Store. Successor gear, this is a big one, okay? Successor gear have been updated the following ways. Gladiator's Guard body slot now provides 5% damage. Good for tank, for sure. Call of the Undermountain arm slot now increases your power by 5%. That's big. That pretty much makes every armor piece kind of obsolete. So definitely look into the successor gear arms. And the Sniper's Advantage and Brute Advantage feat slot now increases your combat advantage by 5% while active. Again, those who are struggling for combat advantage might want to look into this. And this is another big one. For those who missed the Pearl Ring, right, because 90% of the community didn't know that you had to get 9 relics and complete the mission to get the Pearl Ring, which grants you freaking crazy amounts of stats, now are going to be dropped from MEs. So, in my opinion, the Pearl Ring is best in slot companion gear for now, and I'm glad. This is another good step in the right direction. Hey, we kind of didn't tell you that the best in slot companion gear was going to be, obtainable by getting 9 relics in a certain mission during the Undermountain campaign, so we're going to put it in the loot pool for Master Expedition. Big ups. I appreciate it. Thank you. Trinko enchantment should no longer be lootable from anywhere. Good. A lot of this other stuff down here at the very bottom is normally user interfaces, artwork, and general stuff, and a lot of it doesn't apply to most things. So with that being said, we're not going to go into a lot of it. Ternivorous enchantment stats no longer likely to... Ternivorous enchantment stats no longer look like they changed when slotted into gear. Ternivorous enchantment was the enchantment I was talking about, that you had to reach a certain threshold of HP to kind of get the max benefits from it. So that's pretty good. So that's what I'm working on now on my build. The refinement players can now properly select a ward slot when upgrading enchantment shards. animation artwork. We're not going to go over the animation artwork. We're not going to go anything with the rest of this information because to me it's kind of irrelevant. So again, big patch notes. They're underway right now on console. Make sure your Xbox is set to download all the information, all the patches, and all that lovely information that's coming out today. I will have a second video going over some more information today. So if you want to stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. Also, don't forget to leave a comment because we're running a YouTube giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subs, we'll be giving away a $50 gift card for either Xbox or PlayStation. And all you have to do is subscribe and leave a comment. With that being said, this is Frank signing out. Peace.